Hello, and welcome back to Let's Practice English. I'm your host, Christine, and it feels wonderful to be here with you again. In our last few episodes, we've been assembling a kind of communication toolkit. We learned how to start a conversation, and then we learned some gentle phrases to express our feelings. These are essential skills, but today I want to talk about what happens next. I want to talk about the magic of real connection. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a long conversation with someone but walked away feeling empty? You talked about the weather, about your job, about what you did last weekend. You exchanged facts, like two computers exchanging data, but you didn't feel any closer to the person. The conversation was like a bridge that didn't quite reach the other side. On the other hand, have you ever had a short 5-minute conversation that left you feeling energized, seen, and understood? A moment where you thought, wow, I really like this person. What is the difference between these two experiences? The difference isn't the topic of conversation. It's not about having an exciting life or telling the best stories. The difference is in the intention behind our words. Are we using our words simply to pass the time, or are we using them to build a bridge? Today, we are going to learn how to be bridge builders. We are going to explore 3 fundamental principles that transform simple talk into genuine connection. These are not complex techniques. They are simple shifts in your mindset that will change how you listen, how you speak, and how people feel when they are with you. These principles will help you turn colleagues into work friends, acquaintances into true friends, and make every interaction you have more meaningful and more human. This isn't just about practicing English. It's about practicing humanity. Are you ready to become a master bridge builder? Let's begin. Principle number 1. Be a detective, not a reporter. Imagine a conversation. What kinds of questions do we usually ask? Where are you from? What do you do for work? Did you have a good weekend? How long have you been living here? These are what I call reporter questions. A reporter's job is to collect facts. Who, what, where, when. These questions are safe, they are easy, but they often lead to dead ends. Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. Okay, next question. Did you have a good weekend? Yes, it was nice. End of story. Reporter questions gather data. They don't invite stories. They don't create connection. Now, I want you to imagine a different role. Instead of being a reporter, I want you to be a detective. A friendly detective, of course. A detective is not just interested in the facts. A detective is interested in the story behind the facts. They are interested in motivations, feelings, and experiences. They ask how and why. Detective questions are open doors. They invite the other person to share a piece of their world. Let's transform our reporter questions into detective questions. Reporter, did you have a good weekend? Detective, what was the most memorable part of your weekend? Or what was the highlight of your weekend? See the difference? The first question has a yes or no answer. The second question asks for a story, a small moment. Reporter, what do you do for work? Detective, what's the most interesting challenge you're working on right now? Or what's something that surprised you about your job when you first started? The reporter question gets you a job title. The detective question gets you a glimpse into their daily life, their passions, their struggles. Reporter, do you like living in this city? Detective, what's one of your favorite hidden spots in this city that most tourists don't know about? This is a beautiful question. It's positive, it's interesting, and it makes the person feel like an expert. They are sharing a secret with you. The master tool of the friendly detective is the follow-up question. Once someone gives you an answer, your job is not to immediately ask a new, different question. Your job is to stay curious about what they just said. The most powerful follow-up phrase in the English language might just be, "Tell me more about that." It's simple, it's gentle, and it shows you are genuinely interested. Let's see it in action. You say, "What was the highlight of your weekend?" They say, "I went hiking with my family." Bad follow-up, reporter, "Oh, cool, do you like your job?" You changed the subject. Good follow-up, detective, "Oh, that sounds lovely. Tell me more about that. Where did you go hiking?" Or, "How old are your kids?" Or, "What's your favorite part about hiking?" Being a detective is not about interrogating someone. It's about being curious. It's about sending the message, "Your life is interesting to me. Your experiences matter to me." When people feel that you are genuinely curious about them, they open up. That is the first and most important step to building a bridge.
Principle number 2, offer a piece of your world. So, you've asked a wonderful detective question. The other person is sharing a story with you. This is fantastic. But connection is a two-way street. It is a bridge that must be built from both sides. If you only ask questions, the conversation can start to feel like an interview. The other person might feel like they are under a spotlight. To build a true connection, after you listen, you must be willing to share. I call this offering a piece of your world. This does not mean you have to tell your deepest, darkest secrets. It doesn't mean you have to dominate the conversation with your own stories. It's much simpler than that. It's about finding a small point of connection in what they said and relating it back to your own life in a brief, simple way. Here is a simple formula for it. Listen to their story. This is principle number 1. Be a detective. Be curious. Validate their feeling. We'll talk more about this in principle number 3, but it can be as simple as saying, "That sounds amazing," or, "Oh, that must have been difficult." Share a small related me too moment. This is the key. You are showing them, "I understand you because I have felt something similar." Let's look at an example. Imagine your colleague says, "I'm so exhausted. My daughter was sick all night and I barely slept." A disconnected response, "Oh, that's too bad. Well, see you at the meeting." This response builds a wall, not a bridge. A connected response. Listen. You hear she is exhausted and worried. Validate. "Oh, wow, that sounds so stressful. I hope she's feeling better." Offer a piece of your world. I remember one time when my son had a high fever. I was up all night, just checking on him every hour. I felt like a zombie the next day at work. I can only imagine how tired you are. Can you feel the difference? In the second response, you have built a bridge. You showed you listened, you showed you cared, and you made yourself relatable. You said, "You are not alone in this feeling. I have been there too." You offered a small piece of your world. This works for positive things too. Then, "I finally finished my gardening project. I planted a whole new flower bed." You? "That's fantastic. It must feel so satisfying to see it all done." Validation. "You know, I don't have a garden, but I get a similar feeling of peace and accomplishment when I finish organizing a closet. It's that feeling of creating order and beauty, right?" Offering a piece of your world. You don't have to have the exact same experience, you just need to connect with the feeling behind their experience. The feeling of exhaustion, of satisfaction, of frustration, of joy. When you offer a piece of your world, you switch from being an interviewer to being a fellow human being. You are saying, "Let me show you a piece of my map so you know I understand yours." Principle number 3. Reflect their reality. This final principle is perhaps the most selfless and the most powerful. It is the art of making someone feel truly heard. I call it reflecting their reality. What does this mean? It means acting like a mirror. When someone tells you something, especially something with emotion, your job is not to immediately fix it, judge it, or give advice. Your first job is to simply reflect back what you heard. You show them that you have received their message accurately. This is also called validation. You are validating their feeling as real and understandable. The most common mistake we make in conversations is trying to solve the other person's problem. Them. I'm so nervous about this presentation tomorrow. Our typical response, trying to fix, don't be nervous, you'll be great, you know your stuff. This is kind, but it is not connection. You have accidentally dismissed their feeling. You told them not to feel what they are feeling. Let's try reflecting their reality instead. Them. I'm so nervous about this presentation tomorrow. A reflective response. It sounds like you're feeling a lot of pressure right now. Pause. Feel the power of that sentence. You didn't judge, you didn't advise. You just held up a mirror and said, I see the pressure you are feeling. What do you think the person will do next? They will probably say, yes, exactly. I feel like everyone is expecting so much. And now a real conversation is happening. Here are some of your magic phrases for reflecting reality. It sounds like you had a really frustrating day. It sounds like you're incredibly excited about this trip. It seems like you've put a lot of thought into this. That makes so much sense. After they explain why they are upset, thank you for explaining. That makes so much sense now why you would feel that way. Wow, that must have been really disappointing. Wow, that must have been a huge relief. Reflecting reality is the ultimate gift of listening. You are telling the person, your feelings are welcome here. They are valid. I'm not going to try and change them. I'm just going to sit here with you and understand. When you give someone this gift, you build a foundation of trust that is incredibly strong. People will want to talk to you because they know you are a safe place.
Putting it all together. A bridge-building conversation. Let's see how these three principles, be a detective, offer a piece of your world, and reflect their reality, can transform a simple conversation in the office kitchen. Scenario: the boring version. You: Hey Maria, how are you? Maria: I'm okay, just busy. You? Yeah, me too. Busy day. Yep. Silence. Maria gets her coffee and leaves. That was a conversation between two reporters. It was functional, but it was a dead end. No connection was made. Now let's try again as a bridge builder. You, principle number 1, be a detective. Hey Maria, I know you've been working on the big client proposal. How is that coming along? This is much better than asking, how are you? Maria: don't ask. We hit a major problem yesterday. The software we use keeps crashing and we lost half a day's work. You: oh no, that sounds incredibly frustrating to lose that much progress. You are holding up a mirror to her frustration. Exactly. It was awful. I felt so defeated last night. You, principle number 2, offer a piece of your world. I can only imagine. That reminds me of a time last year when I was on a deadline and my computer just died. That feeling of panic is the worst. I ended up working until midnight to catch up. You are sharing a relatable Me Too moment. Oh, you get it then. That's exactly how I feel. Well, hopefully today is a better day. You: I really hope so for you. Let me know if there's anything I can do, even if it's just getting you another coffee later. Maria: thanks, I appreciate that. Look at that difference. In the same amount of time, you moved from a boring exchange of facts to a moment of real human connection. You learned about her challenge, detective. You made her feel understood, reflect. And you showed her that you are on her team. Offer. You built a bridge. Conclusion. Your words are your tools. Connection is not a mystery, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned and practiced. Today we learnt the 3 core principles of building that connection. Be a detective, not a reporter. Ask open, curious questions that invite stories, not just facts. Offer a piece of your world. Make yourself relatable by sharing a small, relevant feeling or experience. Reflect their reality. Show them you understand by holding up a mirror to their feelings without judgment. Your homework for this week, your Let's Practice English challenge, is to choose just one of these principles to focus on. Maybe this week you will just focus on being a detective. Try to ask one person, what was the highlight of your day, instead of how was your day? Or maybe you will focus on reflecting reality. The next time someone tells you they are stressed or excited, try saying, that sounds really stressful, or it sounds like you're so excited. Start small. The goal is not to have a perfect, deep conversation every single time. The goal is to plant seeds of connection. A good question here, a moment of understanding there. These small moments are what build strong, lasting, and meaningful relationships. Your words are the most powerful tools you have. Use them to understand, to share, and to connect. Use them to build bridges. That's all the time we have for today on Let's Practice English. I'm your host, Christine. Thank you for learning how to be a bridge builder with me. Keep practicing and remember that every conversation is an opportunity to make someone feel seen. Until next time, take care.